where is this thing here? Strange. It's maybe this one, yeah. Yeah, I think it's this one. All right, so welcome back to the Monday night club action. What we have here today is, what we have on Mondays usually is the club arena. And basically that means that we are doing the events, not we, but our club, my club, are doing the events for the members. And it's not open to everyone. Because, you know, these events are to show the appreciation for my supporters who are here to, you know, to learn as well, right? Okay, so today we play Scandinavian defense, e4, d5. It's actually the starting position is set. There are 3 ways to join the club. They're listed in the description for the tournament. One is being my Twitch subscriber, second is being Lichess.org patron, because if you help the site, you help all the players. And third is being a title player, because that's always nice. Hi Blunder Dragon, how are you? Hopefully you guys can hear me. Yeah, let me know something is up. All right. So we have 3 people so far. We're starting at 10 minutes, which is, I think I messaged everyone to say that we start at 8 o'clock. All right, I'm okay. Thank you so much. So hopefully everyone, this is because this arena, you can actually late join. You can join, then withdraw, then join again. So you guys can do your own thing as well. It's gonna go for 90 minutes. It's gonna go for 90 minutes, yeah. Hi, Fan de Magzi Bogus. Okay. Hi, Skakhund 22. Did I pronounce it right? Is it Hund or Hand? Good evening, Mr. Hugo Poker. Right. So, in fact, we have 2 teams. One is our regular club, which is Pawn Grabbers Club, and the second team is the dedicated to the stream battle. Okay, so let me show you the second team, because the second team is open to everyone. All right, and it says here this team is free and open to all, so you don't need confirmation actually to join it, because to join the Pawn Grabbers team, which is a selected club, you need to have the confirmation. All right, but this team, the purpose of this specific team is to do the team stream battles, which usually happen on Lichess once a month. All right. And last time we had the team, we had like 25, 26 members play for our team, and the other guys had like 400, 500, 600 people playing for their teams, right? So it was kind of too big advantage for them. That's why we have created the second dream stream battle team, so that if you want to fight for us, then you can fight for us, yeah. And then it's this team only participates in the stream battle thing. All right, great. 10 p.m. was too late. Yes, I realized that. You are a bicycle. Okay. So, anything happening today? Let's see. Is there any broadcasts going on right now? Any tournaments happening? Oh, US Senior Championship starts at 18 UTC. So who is playing actually? Oh, Patrick Wolf. My God, I haven't heard this name in a very, very long time. Igor Novikov, also another guy I haven't heard in a very, very long time. Wow, and Alexander Golden. Woo. Mr. Shelby Getz is probably one of those people I haven't get a chance to play at all in my entire career. I played against Goldin, I played against Igor Novikov, I played against Yermolinsky, Patrick, of course, Dmitry many times, Gregory, who has that really annoying huge positive score against me, which I didn't manage to quite diminish. So interesting. All right, let's see if they are. Let's see the day number 1 first of all. Let's see, day number 1, we have Patrick Wolf, Gregory Kaidanov. What happened here? Patrick lost, and let's take a look at some games. Alright, thank you. Looks very okay for black so far. I'm not quite sure about this knight rate to b4. Slightly optimistic, and black missed this knight f5 thing, followed by... Oh, so okay, so the question is knight d6. Why? Oh, the idea is to take on f5 and then play f6, right? Very interesting. But okay, but this is clearly better for white, of course. Yeah, because this queen is super strong. Yeah, and this endgame is just winning. All right, so what just happened? Andromeda, thank you so much. Dealman, thank you for subscribing. Tier 1 for 5 months. My God. Batinik, how are you? The great Dealmans and the great Andromeda, thank you so much. My huge supporters. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Hello, Chris Banjo. You are also interactive chess. Subscribe for 6 months. Wow. Wow, 6 months, guys. Thank you for your belief in my abilities and my health to do this for 6 months next time. For the next 6 months, yeah? Thank you so much. Hopefully, you know, we'll be here in 6 months. God willing, right? Hopefully. And we'll be still streaming and teaching and playing you guys, and make sure we have something so you guys can enjoy. Alright. Okay, so I was basically looking at some games from this championship. Then we have Dmitry Gurich versus Alex. Okay, let's take a look at Joel versus Alex. Alex lost, and this looks very much like King's Indian attack by white. Yeah, Bishop e3, unusual. Normally you would see play e5 and then the standard, right? Bishop f4, knight d2, knight f1, h4, etc. But Bishop e3 is very unusual. Why is knight takes d4 bad? I wonder. Because now white gets the c file for his pieces, and this is starting to look like a very good King's Indian for white. e5 is no fun because the bishop goes then to h3 and hits this rook. Also, he closed this bishop, but e5 kind of makes sense still. All right, I understand that black doesn't want to close his bishop, but oh, okay. So Shaba is actually playing for a win. I don't think he is he's got that big of an advantage to play for a win actually. And what happened here is probably he lost on time, or he got disconnected. Yeah, probably. So that's probably what happened. Thank you, Lone Beast. Can you let everyone join the team? No, Mr. Hoovji, because this is my only source of actually income right now. We have no tournaments, so these guys that are supporting me, they actually letting me live, you know. Yeah, big hole on f6, I agree. I mean, I understand the situation is not easy for everyone, but I really appreciate the people who support me. So I cannot open this club for everyone, okay? All right, Bishop e7. Yeah, I think this is well, the idea is that white wants to probably play Bishop e4, so you kind of need to leave this square in e7 for the second knight. Of course, then white's rook goes to c7, so I think this position actually better for white. And yeah, so you see, Bishop e4 is coming, right? And because you want to take on f5 and queen h6 mate. So this looks very, very dangerous for black. Alright, what else we have interesting? We have Larry versus Igor. Looks like a draw. And then we have... oh, but they play... They have different format, I think, right? If they make a draw, then they have to play an extra game or something, right? Wow, they have definitely new format. I don't know the rules. Somebody knows the rules? If they draw, do they have to play again? Wait, but it's impossible, right? Because Patrick just lost the first game. Ah, but here he plays against Larry. So, what happened? Patrick won, right? Oh, and we have Pierce with Queen E2. Alright, so let's see this prep. Yeah, Patrick was extremely an aggressive player in his day. Extremely aggressive, I remember that. Very attacking, very dynamic player. Huge talent, by the way, in the US chess, and you can see it here. He is really... okay, so things are equal, but then white just in time to get this bishop on c3, which is a monstrous bishop, of course. And this king going to g5, my god, this is definitely... oh, and he just gives this pawn because there's a threat of queen f7 and taking on c5, and yeah, so white king just goes into the king side and grabs those pawns, and that's why white wins. Fantastic performance by Patrick Wolf. Alex Schaber wins the game in the d4, queen c4 line. My god, this line is like ancient. Did he find some interesting new idea, perhaps? Because Schaber is very creative. He's famous for his unorthodox thinking, great attacking skills, and of course those amazing opening lines that only he can play. Alright, and the arena starts in 40 seconds, so let's get back. We have 6 people in the arena. Alright, no second game, you're correct. Yeah, he was playing the other guy. Alright, hi Aurora, what's up? Okay, great. We have 7 people, but usually we get more as the arena starts and keeps in progress.
9, 8.
Okay, good luck everybody.
7,
Let's
6,
see the Scandinavian.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Woohoo! Alright, let's go. Okay, here I actually wanted to show you this line. It starts with bishop c4. And white actually plays d3. The idea is that if black plays bishop on f5, the pawn on d3 will be blocking the bishop. And sometimes the square on d4 is left for white knight on e2. So this is an extremely interesting idea with the bishop c4 and d3 development that we looked at together with my wife as part of the preparation. Like against what to do against the Scandinavian defense, right? Because there are some lines that you have to remember, and I keep forgetting those lines. But this way we don't forget, right? Okay, so bishop d2 looks good. Preparing the terrible knight b5 or knight d5 thing, right? Going after this pawn on c7. Right, so black plays this, and but he castled his bishop, which is interesting. Okay, so how are we gonna play this position? Alright, let's just play steady like this. The advantage of the knight on e2 development is also sometimes you can play knight g3 and go for some crazy stuff like f4 and f5. Also, black's biggest problem is his bishop on c8. Like, where is that bishop going to develop, right? So, so it's an interesting opening. I think Scandinavian is actually very solid, except that if you go into the main lines, of course. But those require some memorization. Right. Right now, I'm just playing against this bishop on c8, so I'm gonna develop. Try to complete the development. Bishop g4, something is coming. Alright, just rook b1. Let's see. So in general, I like also the pawn on d3 because it's not under attack. If it's on d4, you have to either protect it or you push d5. With the pawn on d3, it's just a little bit safer. Yeah, and you sort of create support for these squares. So it's a very unusual position for the Scandinavian, and it's more like, I don't know, is it French or something like that? No clue. Yeah, bishop g4 was the weird move, to be honest. A little bit weird because... Yeah, but also this... yeah, because he's gonna get hit, right, with h3 or something. Actually, I just want to take this thing, because if you take with the bishop, then I just play h3 and this major threat of g4. I don't know how you're gonna handle it, man. Right, I'm just gonna grab this bishop. Yeah, that's why, again, so that was against the bishop f5 development, right? See this pawn chain? It closes the bishop. So g4, and you score the bishop, right? Free bishop. It's nice. Yeah, pretty much I think is winning already. At the beginning of your career, you had a pretty basic opening repertoire. Okay, let me read this. It seems that you just want to reach a more or less playable middle game position. What do you still recommend today novice players? It is possible. I mean, it's the chess understanding that you're trying to grow, but it doesn't. But you don't have to be so mild, because in the beginning I wasn't. The reason I didn't, I transferred the weight of the game into the middle game is because I didn't know openings. I had no preferences. I had no desire to study openings at all. But once I got that interest in playing lines that I consider my own, like London system or Slav Chibanenko, which I started to develop, I started to heavily analyze, then the work becomes play, right? And then that's when I really started to pour a lot of hours, a lot of work, and it actually paid off, because you study the positions, you improve your chess knowledge, you study middle game. So it all had to do with the study, right? All right, thank you for following, gentlemen. Thank you so much. So again, the reason I was playing so timidly, because I didn't know chess openings when I was younger. All right, but when I came back and I decided to play, not to play main lines, because I thought that I hated memorization. I hated that part of chess. So I felt that I had to analyze in find my own way, my own openings that suit my style, right? You have to consider playing openings that suit your style. Not everybody is suited to play like Tal or like Magnus, right? So you have to consider all those factors. All right. You know, queen d5 is not an automatic move. You can also play knight f6 here, right? In fact, I think I played knight f6 against Anand in a critical game in Sankey Nagar, and now it's Karo-Kan now, right? So yeah, so you guys can play knight f6. It's also considered Scandinavian. It's just less popular. All right, this is pretty popular line. I remember seeing it quite a few times. Knight a6 is fine, probably. Probably because I'm not sure what is the modern take on this line. Queen b6 looks good. Trying to get a tempo. Besides, going to the endgame with a pair of bishops with the double pawn formation for white should be okay for black. So yeah, you should never probably take this pawn on a6, to be honest. And just give up that light squared bishop, unless you're absolutely sure that you get something out of that. Okay, so maybe I just play rook d8 first. Yeah, no need to rush. You get the double pawns, but you get so much more in compensation for that. Probably grab. Okay, so the question, do I want to play rook b8 and go for the pair of bishops? Yeah, okay, let's do that. Kind of like this. So it's going to be played in the Volga Gambit style. I think it's totally worth it because I could have played bishop c4, take on e2, and then bishop d4, and probably black is slightly better, but it's very drawish. This way, you're sort of keeping tension on board. Yeah, rook a3 was kind of weird. I agree, but you know, it's not a bad move, right? It's kind of weird. Okay, so bishop c4, and so I'm keeping this rook here. So let's see what white wants to do. f5 looks kind of strange, so maybe e6, right? So I'm trying to tie up all white pieces to the defense, because if they're in defense, then they are not actively moving. That means they are not playing the game, and that's good. All right, bishop b3 is possible. Maybe make a luft for the king. f5. Kind of don't like f5, but okay, let's see it. I just wanted to bring my king closer to the action, and also take away the e4 square from white's knight. So this is probably who did you study chess with at the young age? What kind of material did you use? There was anything that you consider useful? Well, I think that when I was really young, it's very important to be motivated to study. I was I hated studying, so I was trying to use the method where I just focus on the game itself, all right? So it's not that simple. But again, there are so many practical players like Anatoly Karpov, like who are very well known to be a little bit lazy, not to study much. Okay, so, and there of course the greats like Kasparov and Bronstein, I think, and definitely Polgaevsky, who studied very, very hard. Korchnoi, of course. Hard workers, right? Hard workers. For whom nothing came easy. Not everybody is Capablanca. Okay. Kappa made it look very easy, but he was a huge talent. Humongous talent, in fact. Alright, so where's my bishop should be placed? That is the question. Okay, so this looks good. So bishop goes to b6 probably, yeah? That means our bishop can go to e3. And I like how this knight is completely restricted, yeah? Completely restricted. That is pretty good. Alright, so black has a very good chance to win this game now, yeah? Pair of bishops. Strong pawn formation. I'm not sure why I didn't play king f6. King f6 was kind of weird. e4, probably not. Just grab. Grab. Okay. So I think it's very important actually when you're younger to build your base, which is study endgames, right? The endgames are actually more important than studying openings, because once you have that base set, then you can just work on improving middle game and openings. Openings are basically about memorization, but also you understand them more when you get older, right? You understand the system, you find your own way. But the endgames are absolutely critical. Like so many stories about people who become even international master and they don't know how to mate with knight and bishop. I mean, come on. Famous stories, right? We all heard them. Alright, d4 is actually the main line. And of course, Tivikov was one of the greatest exponents of this Scandinavian defense. the greatest. Can I play bishop g4, 95? Am I blundering? No, I don't think I'm blundering. So, okay, so let's play that. Yeah. So basically, the reason why I like Scandinavian is because in such structure you have white's pawn on c4 already. But here, knight c3 is holding this pawn back. And that means white is sort of stuck with this pawn on d4. I can actually consider playing bishop h5, no longer trading this bishop for the knight. So, if white doesn't actually break through into the center fast enough, then I think black is completely fine. He may even be better at some point because the pawn formation of the d4, c2, and knight on c3 being completely restricted, things are looking pretty good for black. So that's why the main theory in the Scandinavian defense focuses on white trying to get that break d4, d5 very, very soon. Okay. Knight d5 probably I don't want to play. Let's see if I can castle. Because I don't think I should be scared of this pawn push here. Hi Brickskeith. Queen d6 Tivikov, yes, correct. Correct. You know your Tivikov games. Bishop d2 early allows white to play knight d5, precisely, which is the reason why bishop d2 I think is the main line, because after knight d5, knight f6, yeah, then white can support the center with the c pawn. Correct. Ducky? What's a ducky? I have no idea what ducky means. Alright, knight d5. I will allow you to trade this poor son of a gun knight on c3. And trade this as well. And now we are back in sort of Londowish sort of position, right? Again, not Londowish, but Carlsbadish. And black should be completely fine here, of course. So, standard, minority attack. And you don't have the light squared bishop, which in London system is extremely necessary, right? Black has this bad light squared bishop, white has a good light squared bishop, which is not the case here. I mean, it's about equal. I'm not saying black is better here. It's about equal. Just easier to play for black, I think, this position. Yeah, make sure we don't blunder stuff. Ooh, opposite wing attack. Alright, g6 is coming. Yeah, if I play knight f8, that allows knight e5 to go, yeah? That's not what we want. Alright, so let's play bishop d6. Let's try to take e5 square under control. Be a little bit more active here. g6 is still a problem. So knight f8 might be considered. Or I can consider actually going e5 here at some points. G6 and some sacrifices are kind of annoying, yeah? Alright, knight f8, trying to be safe. Probably is not the best move. Probably not the best move. Yeah, so minority attack works, right? Minority attack does work. But I think black is fine now. It's gotta be fine. Why did I play rook c4 again? Not sure. Yeah. When things like that happen, when you're starting to make moves without purpose, that's when you should become careful. Hi, Korean knife. Gatsky knows us. That's correct. That is correct. All right, this hammer that is following my disaster here. I need to get my king away, or my knight somewhere. Queen d3, powerful move. I like this move. I like this move. Wow. Yep, definitely problem. Okay, I need to keep an eye on this bishop to prevent white rook infiltrating somewhere. Yeah, this looks very good for white. I agree. Ooh, grab this. Grab this immediately. Ah, his king runs here, yeah? Yeah, I think white wins this, yeah. Maybe not. Maybe he doesn't. I tricked you, man. I got a check. I got a queen with check. Ooh. Woohoo. Alright, just grab this. Oh, wait. What did I do? My god. No, you don't. You should have played. Come on, man. King a7 first. Come on, I gave you a chance. I gave you a chance, man. You didn't take it. King e7 first, then h7, then king f7, king g6. Okay, but you were much better in the endgame, I agree. It's just grandmasters know some tricks, yeah, to make your life complicated. Yeah, very good game. Come on, guys, please don't compare me to the almighty being. I'm just a human. Yeah, I'm very happy that I survived this game. Alright. Oh, we have actually 15 people playing today. Nice. Alright. Sometimes report that you're playing against an opponent piece. If I'm not mistaken, it's not a very common theme in the chess literature. Could you elaborate a little bit more on this? It's not playing against the opponent piece. It's, but maybe you're correct, yes. But it's like a more advanced version of finding a piece in your opponent's camp which is not doing that well, right? There is a famous saying, the knight in the rim is bad, the whole game is bad. So basically this philosophy, trying to play against the bad bishop, right, or bad knights, having a good structure, again, it's just a continuation of that philosophy. I find it very helpful, actually. So for example, in my London games, you will find that I tried a lot to play against black's light squared bishop, for example, right? I tried to hammer in that bishop. And because, you know, when you have superior pieces, that definitely gives you an advantage. It makes your life much easier. All right. So I'm just gonna play this bishop c4 92 line because it's like very easy, and d3. Because I find if you play g3, bishop g2, d3 is completely different, but the bishop c4 and d3 pair some reason it makes life more interesting. All right. All right, F4 time. So it becomes very, very similar to Sicilian, correct? Yeah, if you allow me to play F5 and you allow me to get my rook in there, I'm very, very happy. I'm very happy. I think black's supposed to play E6 and then B6, bishop B7 and play something like that. I think that makes more sense, because right now, look at this bishop and this rook, yeah? It's just terrifying. I don't know, I would be terrified if I was black. Knight e4 is not probably the best move. I played it because I was hoping to get... Alright, again, now we're looking at this bishop on c8, it's sort of hammered in, right? So we are playing against this bishop. So the idea when I'm saying I'm playing against certain piece is that the idea is that you're trying to leave yourself better pieces because they create more opportunities in the game. All right, like this knight on g3, it kind of sucks, right? So I should really consider putting him somewhere else, like knight f1, and then going to e3. That's why I always tell people that whenever you have position, you don't know what to do, look in the position for a piece that is not doing much and try to improve it, which again is the Tigran Petrosian's approach. I absolutely loved Tigran Petrosian, was my huge influence on me on my chess. His famous exchange sacrifices, right? We all know them. We all love them. If you manage to reproduce one of those famous sacrifices, you're a very lucky person. The anti-Scandi? It's not the anti-Scandi, it's something that... again, that's a play against the bishop c8. It's simply play against the bishop. So you see how I rerouted the knight, put the rook on the h file, right? And now we're gonna go for this queen h5 thing, and who is attacking who, not clear, because the bishop takes away the key square on g8 from the rook. I think it's a pretty important square. Potentially knight can go to g4 and hit this bishop, and then knight goes to h6. Again, hits a lot of squares there. Let me see if I click... Oh, it's a different color, yeah? And this one? Even better. Oh, okay, so we have 3 colors here. Dr. Schwischenzug. If you don't know what that means, just Google Kamsky and FFL, and I'm pretty sure stuff will pop out and will tell you exactly what it is all about. As I said, knight g4. Oh, okay. Time to get back. Alright, but now we're getting a very good knight and potentially good structure. So should I play knight h6? I actually like knight h6 a lot more now. The reason is that the queen on g7 looks very funky. If I can potentially trap it somehow, that would be good, like queen h5, right? But then, can I get the rook to g4? Yeah, but I don't think I can get the rook to g4, yeah? And queen h5, rook d8, rook h4, then he has queen g5. That's what stops me. Otherwise, it would be the bomb. Okay, so I should probably just take on e5. I'm sure the computer would probably find the easy way for me to win this, but I don't see it. I don't see it. Alright, fine. Let's put the knight back. Ideally, I want this knight on e6. Yeah, how do I do that? How do I do that? Alright, let's just play rook e3 maybe. Go for the mundane things, mundane and realistic, yeah. Leave the dreaming to the dreamers. Okay. Mr. Goku, you're playing really well. Alright, grab... Oh, I cannot grab this. Okay, first protect. Alright. That pawn is way more important than mine pawn, so... That sneaky king on h5, yeah? Sneaky padre on h5. Oh, come on. Okay. Rook f7. Why you made so many fast draws in Granke 2019? What? What? The pawn structures? I mean, Nimzovich system is the basic opening, basic book, which is supposed to give you a head start on the pawn structures, right? It definitely looks at the isolated pawn. But again, if you want the pawn structures books, you need to look at the Petrosian games. If you really want to study how to play close positions, look at the Tigran Petrosian games. Anatoly Karpov too, of course, but those, yeah, close pawn structures are related to the maneuvering, to the positional type of play. Then you need to look at the players who excel at that. If you want to study dynamics, you look at the games by the famous dynamic huge attackers like Tal, Alekhine, right, and of course the greatest is Kasparov. But the pawn structures, they all understand those pawn structures, right? 95, I like this move. Queen h4, g3. Queen f5 is the only move, and then after bishop d3, black has to play 94, right? And then he's in trouble. g4, even stronger. Wow, I didn't see this g4. I haven't considered. Moves like that from my king, it's very hard to find, to be honest. But I like this move. So black has to take on g4, otherwise queen e4, knight c3 just loses the game. So he has to take on g4. Then bishop g4, queen g4, knight e5, queen f5, e5, d5, bishop e5, knight c3. But after queen e4, bishop f3, what is the plan? Do you just want to take on f3 maybe, yeah? I don't know. We'll see. Nope. Alright, let's try Tivikov, queen d6. Queen d6 is pretty decent. Good afternoon. Hi. The rest can game manual. Very tough. Very, very tough. When I tried it, like a few years ago, I find it extremely difficult. Extremely difficult material. But if you can master it, you'd be awesome. But I found it unrealistic. Bishop g4. Then e6. Yeah. So we successfully closed this bishop on c4. And in the closed positions, knights are considered to be very good pieces. So I'm pretty happy with my opening outcome here, more or less. Because I don't have any bad pieces. As soon as I castle, with this pawn structure, black is probably worse, but he is not much worse. Alright, let's put it that way. Yeah, probably the game is about even. Alright? Probably the game is about even. That'd be a fair statement. Sometimes people be known to try to take control of the d4 square, but I don't know. So this bishop on b3, how good is it? How good is this bishop? If white can get that f4, f5 in and open this bishop, then that bishop is amazing, yeah? But if you can't, then it's the question. Can I just try knight d5 here? If I am able to exchange one pair of bishops, then black is okay. Favorite chess composer? Probably Kubil. Parvakov, Kasparyan, yeah. Kasparyan, of course, is the one of the best, yeah. But personally, I like Kubil because it's not as hard. It's just, you know, very pretty, and usually he develops a great theme, yeah. But he was one of the more early ones composers, yeah. Again, very solid position for white. I would say very, very, very close to equal. So, but I don't like c4 because you just managed to close your bishop, and yeah, look at this poor bishop now. Yeah, c4 definitely not the move to play. Because you have to play something like d4 or something here, yeah? So if I attack this pawn, and then I get control over this square, then black is much better, yeah? So look at this poor bishop on c2. It's not that I tricked you by saying I attacked this pawn. I really want to take it to grab that pawn, yeah? Because I attack the bishop and then I have time to move my queen back. It's extra pawn. But look at this bishop on c2, my god. So definitely one of those things to avoid, okay? So you need this bishop now to on f3, correct. I think that's the best way to approach this. h5 looks okay. The reason you play h5 here is to prevent potential g3, bishop f3, bishop g2 setup. And of course white has all the pawns in the light squares, absolutely terrible. I can grab this pawn, of course, but why make life easier for white, yeah? Knight g3, knight f4. Knight f4 looks good. Queen c5, maybe c5 also. Yeah. All right, so make sure you have your pieces and you have room for your pieces, okay? Blunder Dragon. All right, knight f6. Yeah, I think knight f6 is just as good as queen d5, to be honest. Now it looks more like Alekhine, of course. And I like c3 here. I like to connect my pawns. I never like the structure where I have pawns on c4 and d4. I mean, they're perfectly playable, but I never liked them. This way I force you to trade the queens, right? And this structure is definitely better for white. I believe in this pawn structure for white. Because that's what we always want to get in London, right? Pawns like this. One is a ramming pawn. And another pawn is just damage pawn. Alright, so knight on c4 looks good. So we gotta play slow here. Gotta play slow and improve slowly. Sometimes it's a good idea to put this knight on c5, because he will be hitting these two pawns. Okay, rook e2. Okay, perfect timing, otherwise I was just about to take on b7, take on c6, and transpose into the endgame where I have better pieces, right? In the endgame, rook and pawns are stronger than the minor pieces, especially in the open position. Troitsky, cool. Will the privilegization of faster chess reduce chess skill? Depends. Добрый день, мистер Иванов. Но русскоязычных стримов не бывает, нет. И ходить русскоязычные стримы, там ведут шикарные ребята типа Шипова. Мразевич часто ведет стрим. И Ян Непомнящий также раньше вел стрим, я не знаю, я его давно не видел, кстати, но он тоже вел очень много стримов. Я не знаю, что сейчас Ян делает, он, может быть, вернулся назад в eSports, who knows. I was talking about Jan Nepomniachtchi. Remember, guys, he was streaming a lot, right? And then he disappeared somewhere. I have no idea what happened to him. So if somebody knows what happened to Jan Nepomniachtchi, that'll be cool. Ah, a5. But if b3, then... And I grab this pawn. And b4. You just gave me a pawn, Mr. Blunder Dragon. Be very careful when you give people pawns for free. Well, knight d5 is a must. Yeah, I gave you this opportunity. The reason why I allowed you to do this is because I wanted to try to demonstrate the minority attack in action even when you have a reduced number of pieces on the board. I mean, back rank still matters, right? So you gotta play g6 there probably first. I mean, otherwise rook c6 with idea of b6 is not a bad move. But personally I would prefer to play something like knight d6, because knight controls a lot of squares. And that would be my personal preference. Okay. Jan Nepomniachtchi got married? Really? When? For real? Are you serious? I didn't know that. Who did he marry? No, you're kidding. You gotta be kidding. Come on. It's impossible. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying that's very improbable. Anything is possible, right? C4. Okay. So queen d6 looks okay. Well, bishop g4 looks also standard. 97 or e6. Yeah, okay, let's play e6. In this case, 97, preventing 95. Kamsky not invited. I'm not buying it. What? Invite? Okay. Hold on a second. Hold your horses, gentlemen. What happened? What happened? Where did I get invited? By whom? For what? What's the occasion? Details. What did I miss? Ah, 92. Okay. Bishop g6 looks extremely interesting. Yeah. Alright. Are you playing US Championship? No, I'm not. I'm not playing US Championship. Hopefully next year. Hopefully, guys. Next year I'll be in it. Again, with this structure, I'm pretty happy. Pretty happy with this pawn structure. Because this is the kind of structure that I tend to try to achieve when I play Slav Shabanenko, okay? The idea is that I'm gonna try to hammer on this pawn on d4 eventually at some point. But first, bishop c2, okay, I think that's the correct way of doing it. And ideally you want to do is hammer on this pawn or play c5 and just go for this structure. So that's the question. I don't want to play c5 here, obviously. I don't play c5 here. I've been known to do crazy stuff and play like 98. The idea is, if white plays d5 ever at some point, you're gonna grab this pawn and then you want to pass through and block the pawn on d5 with your knight. That is the idea. Or e5. And you see how this knight is perfectly placed? He is pretty much perfectly placed, blocking this pawn. I mean, bishop probably also works, but alright, why not just bishop f6, yeah? So I'm trying to create a piece in my opponent's camp that is which effectiveness is being limited. Right, like this bishop effectiveness is limited only to playing the role of the defender of this pawn. He has no attacking prowess. Trading one pair of rooks should be good. Yeah, and I think white is probably correct trying to play for a draw now, because he's definitely not better. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Queen c7 is coming. I like the way white decided to handle this position. Yeah, definitely the bishop should be on d6. Yeah, it's kind of funky move, rook b8, but it does the job, which is, you know, protecting the pawn. I kind of disagree with the draw because I think black is now finally better. So I disagree with your draw offer. Not because I don't respect your draw offer, but because I think black is better. in this particular situation, I think black is better because I have more compact pawn formation. You're correct with you trying to play bishop d7. We do not allow that for sure. We do not allow that bishop to go to d7. Now we have to bring the king to d6 to alleviate the pressure and get my bishop into the game. So bishop b8 looks good. Bringing the king go, and then bishop to b6. Bishop d6 was probably more accurate, attacking this pawn, forcing rook c4 or something. We'll see. a6, preventing a6, rook c6 stuff, yeah. Finally, our bishop manages to get to this line. We don't have much time though. That is always a problem. Probably still a draw. I'm not saying black is much better, but it's just more pleasant to play with black here. And if check, rook c1. Okay, I see what you mean. All right, what do we do here? Yeah, he could have flagged me. I know that. Спасибо, Mr. Ivanov. How did I meet my wife? We met on a social site. I mean, on the social site, I basically sent her a question with regards to an area that I was interested in, and she was an expert, and that's how it started. All right. Okay. Same true of the bishop on g7. I don't know. Hi, мой luteal man here. My God, such a complicated name. All right. So a little bit of Scandinavian today. Yeah. All right. I'm curious how Rudy is gonna play against Nikita, because Nikita is very solid player, extremely solid. All right, c5 played so fast. He probably knows his theory, yeah. It's pretty interesting. I don't know. It would take me forever to play a move like c5 in this position. Now we're looking at this becomes more like French line now, yeah? Especially if black takes on d4, plays a6, queen c7, right? We have such structure in the French. Yeah, but after white gets d5 and white is better. Yeah, come on. That's a given. Especially with the pawn on c5, because you get the control of the d5 square. White can always play c3, take away the d4 square. So this d5 square, especially with the black king on e8, it's advantage white. Is it large? I don't know. I think it's annoying. Mr. Rubato, your move, sir. Okay. Alright, so again, queen d6, queen a5, queen d8. I think they're kind of similar. Where are you gonna develop your bishop on f1 to g2? Is that that's the plan, probably? Yeah. All right. Most of the time, this bishop just being given away for this knight on f3. Most of the time. But sometimes you can keep it, especially if white is very passive here. So black can get away with more active development. Again, the focus should not be on the winning, gentlemen. Winning will come automatically when you have developed your understanding of chess and improve. You should strive for improvement above winning. All right? That's more important in my opinion. Because once you have the understanding, the moves come naturally and easier. You don't have to guess. You know the structures, you know the plans. If you don't know the plans, don't know the structure, you can evaluate, you can understand what needs to be done to improve your position. Or play like Petrosyan. He looks not at his position, he looks at his opponent's position and he tries to understand what his opponent is trying to do and then simply negate it. All right? There are several ways to play chess. There is no one good way to play chess. All of them are pretty damn good. Okay, so if I play knight b6, I leave the control of the e5 square, yeah? Okay, I don't want that to happen. Okay, so let's play knight d5. Knight d5 is my favorite move, in fact. Especially now that you have the control of the f4 square. So white is practically forced to take on t5 at some point. Otherwise, you just put the knight on f4. It's dark squared. The bishop is powerless. And knight e4. And then, okay, let's go into the endgame. How do you like Silman books? I've never read his books. I know Jeremy Silman is was a very prodigious writer. Yeah, he wrote a lot of great books. I heard that he wrote a lot of great books, okay? But I never read any. Well, a pawn is a pawn, especially in the endgame. In the endgame, the role of an extra pawn actually increases by a lot. Okay, knight back. And f6, right? So you see this knight on f4, this bishop. It's a good combo. Probably too early to play e5 because now white can play d4. I think you should have played d4, to be honest. Yeah, you're playing way too passive, Mr. Otterboard. You need to play more active. You need to sort of press your vision of what you want to happen on the board. Because quite a few people, they play with this predestination sense of fatalism. Like, they're gonna lose the game anyway, right? Why bother? Don't do that. Try to be optimistic. It is important. Knight c3 looks good, but you take, play rook e3, and then my knight is dead in the water. So let's grab this. We need to open the file for the rook. Ooh, in this case we're getting the passed pawn. Yeah, definitely bishop takes, right? Not rook takes, don't blunder. Tactics. Gotta work on your tactics. A lot of bad light squares bishops today. That is how you try to play, right? That's my way of playing chess. Trying to play against certain pieces that my opponent, or create a difference, right? Okay. It's gonna be knight f6 or queen d5. That's the question. What's up, chess lover? Hi, Andromeda. Andromeda, are you playing? I didn't see you play in the tournaments. Because I haven't played you yet. Usually we get paired. Yeah? Ah, this is actually very interesting to play this. Yeah, this actually might be interesting. Just play e6. Why not? Okay, sounds good. Sounds very good. I think white plays knight e5, knight c4 here. I think that's the main line. Yeah, because if he plays e6, e6, this is kind of way too passive. And the idea for white is to play this like a Catalan system. Catalan system. Especially with the pawn on c6, you're sort of trying to go for the structure. Where you want the opponent e5 and you want access to d6 square. That's the goal. Knight e4, probably not good. Because he just grabs this, yeah. Knight d5, cd5, then we get London sort of structure, which is interesting. Kind of like knight e4, but I don't think that's playable, yeah. That's not playable. Alright, knight d5. Probably good timing by black in this position. Because if I go somewhere with this knight, then he goes for c5, yeah. Alright, so maybe just continue with the plan. Just play a5 here. So trying to cram black's queen side for now. Oh, you're still at work? Oh, okay. No way black can get away with this. Yeah, usually being passive is really bad idea, no matter how you put it. Unless you have extra material. I mean, something to compensate your suffering, right? That's what it's called, suffering. But it depends. Sometimes black can get away with this. I think you should have just taken on e5 here. Because I gotta take with the bishop, right? And then, well, this, maybe. Alright, let's try to play it differently. Let's try to play it now along the lines. Yeah, I think black is actually okay now, yeah? He survives. Black survived. See? So black can get away with it. Because I wasn't very precise. I was not very precise. Yeah, I think the computer will tell you it's probably about equal. Yep, gotta take this rook, maybe rook d3, yeah. Yeah, I have rook d3, which is nice. It's nice to undouble my pawns, finally. Just tugging at the straws, really. Tugging at the straws. I mean, slightly better bishop is not enough, for sure. So we're gonna try to create some threats here. Bishop c6, very nice move, by the way. I like this move. Yeah. Nice move. Oh, time. Time works against us. Trying to work some magic. Probably is gonna boomerang. But in a blitz, anything is possible, so... Ooh. Yeah, black's fine. Yeah. Yeah, I thought I can do something here, but... No way, Jose. No way, Jose. Actually, it's not so simple, yeah? Oh, yes, king g8. Oh, Christ. I forgot about king g8. I only saw king f7. Good job, Mr. Leon Beast. After king g8, black wins. Yes. Okay, miscalculation. The rook endgame was a draw, of course. But that's what happens when you try to play for when too hard, yeah? No regrets, gentlemen. Obviously, we lived in the other time. It's not a Mavel. No, it's not a Mavel. It's just... it's his favorite way of saying he is like that. Leon Beast often wins. That's fine. Yeah. The point was to try to play for a structure. He was worse, but he was never much worse, right? So that was an interesting way by black to play this position. Just knight f6 and e6, yeah? Interesting. Alright, so let me just play bishop c4 again. And try to play it this way. Alright, this is more reasonable. I like this development. No, you don't play e5 in such positions. Come on, man. f5 is like automatic reaction, and black is now much worse. You should have kept the opponent e6. You should have played f5, maybe yourself first, and then e5, yeah? Because right now it's just a piece down for nothing. Yeah. Basically, you lost on 2 moves, man. You had perfectly playable position, but in 2 moves it went completely down. Leon Beast is MFL. It's on chess.com. Leon Beast is MFL, but this Leon Beast is different. Hi guys, hi Phoenix. You're a little late, but that's fine. You still have 20 minutes to play. Yeah. Yeah, by the way, you can also play knight f6. You don't have to take on d5 with the queen. I mean, knight f6 is also considered to be Scandinavian, so that's fine. Yes, Mr. Junior BH, it is a private club. Unfortunately, you're correct. This is the private club. And there are many reasons why it is so. This is how Joel Benjamin played against me. With black. And I got this idea from him, and then I used it to great effect to play against Grishuk at the Olympiad in 2010. And when I played knight f6 on the first move against Grishuk, you guys should have seen his face. There is probably a picture of him. So if you want to take a look and feel the pain that he felt, because he is normally using many hours of preparation. And he had to prepare against my Spanish defenses. He had to prepare against my Sicilian Khan, against Caro Khan. And I played against him Alekhine for the first time in a very, very long time. And he was very, very upset because basically his preparation went to 0. So that's why it is important to use your brain and psychology when preparing for your games. Because you can nullify your opponent's prep. Yeah, and you gain a large advantage doing so. So, how many Leon Beasts are there? Will the real Leon Beast please stand up? Yeah? So, so tailor your prep for your opponents. Don't forget the basics. Okay, 95. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. e5 is actually very interesting. I don't really want to take on e5, but I don't see why I should not take on e5 actually. I mean, but he gets nice pieces, yeah? If I take on a5, he gets away with some squares. Yeah, we don't want that. So queen c7. Looks decent. Going for the standard. I'm not sure about this rook on c8. Yeah, probably a waste of tempo. Should have played queen c7 immediately, followed by rook d8. In this case, bishop d6 probably mandatory. Just like Leon Beast played against me in the last game, yeah? Yes. Being unpredictable helps, especially in competitive sports, and chess is a competitive sport after all. So white does get this access to d6 square. I agree. You have to play c5, knight c4, man. Otherwise you're gonna... yeah. No, but you had to play c5, man. Alright, otherwise I'll just play c5 myself. You get the square, but I get the square as well. Queen where? Queen e7, queen b6, queen f4, queen e7. Looks okay. Actually, I should... No, I cannot take on CD, because knight takes, and my... Alright, maybe rushing with c5, but I think it's normal. I think c5 is good. CD4, knight d4, he grabs my bishop on f5. That's bad news. I forgot about that. Knight c6, he plays d5, and suddenly his knight on b5 is it's a very strong knight, yeah. Alright, so I keep blundering stuff. Alright. I keep blundering stuff. Alright, white is better. Okay, so that was very unfortunate timing for c5. Yeah. Knight b5 with the tempo, a3 with the tempo. Yeah, bad example of how to play chess. Really bad example. Don't play like that. Because you just setting yourself up for a lot of trouble. For no reason. Yep. Of course. Of course. Reasonable. Very, very reasonable. All hands on board to prevent b4 break. Yeah. Probably king f5 was much stronger, but I think it's still a draw. Hello, position. Yes. Okay, good job. Alright. You passed the final exam today at the university. Good job, man. Good job. But how can you possibly have finals in October? Can I ask? Wasn't that like midterm time? I thought the midterms were there at this time. But that's in the US, of course. I mean, in Europe, the system is completely different. Because I'm looking at what my wife is doing, and it's like, it's so different from the system in the US. It's not even funny. Things are like so bloody ridiculously difficult. Wow. Okay. Good job. I mean, guys, studying is hard. Alright? Chess is, I think, is a lot easier. Chess is easier. Close the bishop. Advantage whites. Bishop c4, rook f1, and pawn on f5. Remember this structure, guys. This is almost always good for whites, especially with the bishop on c8. This formation is always good for white. Always an advantage. It's like a Grand Prix attack, right? Visit Asia if Europe is difficult. Alright, yeah, I know nothing about Asian studies. You're probably definitely correct there. I don't even want to guess how hard it is to study in Asia. It is probably ridiculously difficult. I believe you, man. Yeah, I don't envy you. My god, it's probably not something I want to experience for sure. Yep, that's the problem. If you don't have resources, if you don't have financials, then you cannot study chess. Chess is not a profitable profession. Chess is not a profitable profession. So I like g6 in such situations usually. And just going after this bishop. It's like Karo Khan. Trading your opponent good piece. And then comfortable development, right? Everything is very comfortable. The only problem is the bishop. So one of the things to do with this bishop is just play b6, bishop b7, and go for this development. I think it's pretty normal. E5, I'm not sure if e5 is any good, but b6, c5, bishop b7 looks pretty standard to me. Ah, but you do have b4 here. I think b4 was very, very interesting, man. b4 was very, very interesting. c5 can be answered. Yeah, I think b4 was very unpleasant. Now black has a pretty solid structure, so I'm happy. Happy with my structure. Protecting the 7th. Okay, just queen d4. Looks fine. Just keep this queen on t4. You don't take the queen. You just set yourself up for the pressure along the c file. No need to grab this knight, I think. Rook d7 is fine. Because rook and bishop is always very strong. And you give me second pawn? Why? Why are you so generous today, Mr. Blunder Dragon? When I was sitting in the computer lab with nothing to do while I was in my first semester of college, after that I would be solving tactics problems during class, and of course my grades fell, so I decided to drop out to put more of my time to studying chess. This was in 2018. Yeah, but the problem is, I mean, you don't need college to make it in life, right? I mean, look at Microsoft. Yeah, these guys, for God's sakes, they dropped out of college and they made a name for themselves, right? And a lot of money at the same time, right? So yeah, but if you want to make a career in education, then you do need to get good grades. Chess is not easy, for sure. It can be very punishing. It can be a lot of hours with no reward for your work hours spent. So when you make a decision to go for your professional chess career, you have to be absolutely certain. Because making a living out of chess is almost impossible, to be honest. I mean, I mean the First World War, guys. Remember, right? Before the First World War, there were so many talented players, right? I think Pillsbury, um, Blackburn, Chigorin, even, yeah. I think Chigorin was before that time, right? So anyway, during the First World War, and the world right now is in crisis. Not I don't know how chess players are going to survive, to be honest. If the war starts, who needs chess? There will be no money for chess at all. And chess players, they don't have usually second profession to fall back on to support themselves or their families. In the First World War, the reason I mention it is because a lot of people actually died among the chess players because of the starvation. They could not earn money. They could not earn their bread. Nothing to eat. So again, be very careful, gentlemen. Be very, very careful. No, I'm not a coach, but I do streams, and in streams we do a lot of we touch upon a lot of topics of interest and not of interest. I mean, the Third World War is prophesied, right, by many, not only people, but many religions, right? It's inevitable. It's a matter of time. And it's not about like whose side are you gonna be on, right? It's gonna be probably the dumbest question to ask. Which side are you on? Does bishop on c5. Anyway, just complete development and play with an extra pawn here. Yeah. I mean, one of the guys who actually survived in the World War was the Zigbert Tarash, because he had medicine practice. Yep. FIDE and Fischer, it goes, I think, above money, because Bobby was, he was not money was not the top thing for him, right? Was never. He was a man of principle. He absolutely hated the FIDE trying to bend backwards for the Soviet demands, all right? And because FIDE, at the time, a lot of the strongest chess grandmasters, they were from Soviet Union, so if any serious organizer wanted to have a nice tournament, he had to invite Soviet grandmasters, right? So Russia, Soviet Union at the time, uses to the advantage to leverage some demands, right? And not everybody liked it, because the demands were like, very, very pretty harsh. I don't know about this a4, but let's see. Also, I developed my knight on f3, right? My god, okay. Alright, so what are we gonna do? We're gonna play knight g5, we're gonna go for f4, which is gonna go kamikaze style. We're gonna just straightforward attack, because that's what I do. Especially if I play casual games. We're going for the attack, guys. Knight f3 back, because I don't want to trade this guy on f6 and help black. So knight e4. Russian chess is no longer state supported. I mean, it is supported, but not as much as it used to be. Not as much as it used to be. Ooh, Ooh, somebody is going pawn grabbing. Somebody learned a lot of things from me. Yeah, pawn grabbing is being one of them. Okay, man. That's fine. But in this particular case, I don't think pawn grabbing was the best way to play this. Alright, just bishop d2. Yeah, finish the development. Transfer the queen to somewhere more active position. And sort of go for the king. Yeah, that's the game of chess. Made to be mated. It's later that it became transparent that such direct approach was not exactly the best approach. But that understanding came much later. A simple move, but also very difficult to meet, I would like to think. Maybe pawn grab. I want to give you tempo for that. Bishop b3. Well, my original idea was to play g4 here. Alright? Because I want to go after your king. That was my original idea. And now the difference in the bishops should be more apparent. But there was no need to play like I did, but okay. I'm kind of playing dumb, but okay. Brute force method. Why I not take the pawn on f5? Jesus. I'm so bad. I'm terrible. Yeah, of course. Of course. '96, interesting. Bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. I love this music, guys. This is fantastic music. Earliest world champion I've played, probably Smyslov or Tal. The earliest I can think of. I was lucky enough to meet and play. This should be pretty much winning. I mean, a lot of technical issues. Not a lot of, but some. Because black is absolutely strangled. Bishop d7, yeah, that's the plan. Maybe. Rook a5, make sure our rook gets some air. Yeah, okay, it's not gonna be easy. I knew that it was not gonna be so easy. Yeah, but I think it's still better for whites. Let's see the evaluation of this position. Yeah, it's +1. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, black has problems, but maybe correct. King d4, king c5. Not easy to find, of course. Yeah, but probably better. +2. +2 should be winning. Okay. Alright, guys, so thank you for staying with me. I played only one game against Tal. I'm your grandpa's age. Petrosian is my inspiration. Petrosian, Tigran Petrosian. Second one is Bobby Fischer, who was the more universal player. I won. I commentated on this game in my book. So if you get my book, I highly recommend to for you guys, if you don't still have my book, get my book, because I sort of poured my soul and heart into those 2 volumes. My selected games, you get to see some stories, you get to play over some games that I found very, memorable to me. Some incredible struggles. So hopefully you like this arena, and let's go raid someone. Yeah, because I don't think I can do my current resources don't allow me to do longer streams, unfortunately, because yesterday I did longer stream and I had a very, very bad headache. I felt that I'm gonna get a stroke, so it was very close. It took me like a couple hours just to calm down a little bit. Alright, let's see who we're gonna play. We see the Senior US Championship. I recommend that, of course. We have a lot of great streamers. Levy, we see Naka doing his thing. We see Penguin. And we see, of course, Jabava. Oh, we see Maimag as well, yeah. So who do you want to raid? Let me see those voices. You have the books, but you haven't read it. Then read it. Find time. Just read like a novel, but if you find it too difficult, then stop. Take the board. The book is not meant to be read like in 2-3 days. No freaking way. No freaking way. Don't expect to read it in half a year either. Read it a bunch at a time, like one page at a time. It was meant to give you some instructions, some general ideas, some exercises for you to work on, and etc. Alright, so let's rate the US Championship, because still, I'm an American, right? And I know these guys. Penguin is good, but you need to learn from the old-timers, alright? Learn from these guys. These are very, very experienced guys. If you want to learn chess, learn from these guys.
He got in d4. He got in d4 eventually, and then bishop b4 check happened. So it goes off into a different direction. D5 takes, queen d5, d4, knight f6, knight f3, bishop g4. All that happened.
Right. I did think it was with a d4, not.
And bishop e2, e6.
Right.
And then eventually the knight. He kept the knight back.